And we are live. Welcome to the NBA Strategy Show. We're closing out the work week Friday, February 27th. When we get back on Monday, we're 2 months down in this lovely 2026. Hit the like button if you're here. Whenever you get in here, you should always just be hitting the like button. Subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell so you know when everything goes live. And then the big one, follow me on Twitter at Josh Engleman. That's going to help you out a ton. I hope you guys enjoyed yesterday's slate. We had some weird stuff going on. Bets frustrating. 3-1 in the prize picks card we built on live afterlock. We pushed on 2 separate plays out of the 6 we had. The most frustrating one of all was the Minnesota Clippers same game parlay we built on live afterlock. We hit all 3 pieces of the player props. Unfortunately, Minnesota didn't cover. They won by 6. We needed 8.5. The Clippers were awful. They couldn't get anything done. Minnesota should have been better offensively. That one stunk. And then we were never going to get there on the Lakers version because of Vandy, but Mark Williams having 10 rebounds in like 13 minutes is next level stupid. That would have been a really annoying way to lose if Mark Williams did that in minimal time. But now we're back. We're breaking it all down for today. We've got slightly smaller schedule than what we had yesterday. Just a 5-gamer. We've got Cavs Pistons at 7. We've got Nets Celtics at 7:30. Yuck. Let me update these lines too so I can walk through it. And then we'll be good to go. Bang. So Cavs Pistons 6.5 point favorites at home. Nets Celtics, the Celtics are 17.5 point favorites at home. The Knicks and the Bucks play at 8 o'clock. The Bucks are 8.5 point dogs at home. Grizzlies Mavs. That's probably the game that's going to be the biggest pain in the ass today. Mavs are 4.5 point favorites. Your guess is as good as mine. And then late night hammer. Now, is this a real late night hammer in terms of what this game should be? No. Nuggets Thunder. Even with the Thunder missing the dudes they're missing, they're still 8.5 point favorites at home tonight against Denver. That is what we have on the docket for ourselves today. I hope you guys are excited. I am. I kind of like this Friday slate. There's a way where this slate is awful, but we didn't get that. We've got all 5 games, clearly. But we got a break because of the times of these games. And that's why I think this slate is really great, especially if you are using the tools at Stokastic.com. Because every single one of these games locks at a different time. Like if this were 7:39, it would be awful. A real shit slate. But now you can be really tactical about your lineups and your exposures, and you can chip away at fixing it every single successive game while we get more info. So you want to swap before Nets Celtics? Well, we're going to get some official ownership numbers on Cavs Pistons. We won't really have enough projection or like actuals to matter. But then when you get to, let's say 7:45, we're leading up to Knicks Bucks. At that point, we're going to have 45 minutes of Cavs Pistons actuals. Very important. We have the real ownership for Cavs Pistons Nets Celtics. Very important. Now your late swaps start to matter. You're starting to find out which lineups have a shot, which ones might honestly be dead at that moment, how you want to move that stuff around. And then you're doing it again at 8:30 and 9:30. This is a fantastic slate for late swap opportunities, folks. And the good news is I can help you out there. There are links in the description. If you want to sign up at Stokastic and get these Sims packages, 15% off using the link. Maybe the Sims aren't your cup of tea. Stokastic prop tool available via a link in the description if you want to sign up. Maybe you're more on the sports betting and pick'em side. It's going to take our projections and the market and allow you to tweak whatever you want. Those links are in the description. Maybe it's just sports betting. You can sign up for Odds Shopper, Portfolio EV, our ARB tool, our live ARB tool, our brand new odds screen. That link is in the description. And then finally, Tails. Again, the link is in the description. Tails, totally free. Follow whoever you want. It will cost you nothing. Anything we post for free, you get it. Me, Laffy, Ben, Greg, Eric, Spags, the list goes on and on. DK, Mitch, and then, 200 more people that you guys might not know right now, but you might find them and follow them. Tails is totally free. Don't have to spend a dime if you don't want to. So click that link. Steven, nice. Glad you were able to grab that Luka one. I think he finished with 6 made threes. I mean, we blew that one out of the water. Also, yeah, Steven, shout out Taj Gibson. Welcome back to the NBA. Clearly expected you to be in the NBA again at 40 years old. Craziness. But this is if you're a DFS person and if you're watching this show at 9 o'clock in the morning or at any point in time through the rest of today is a great DFS slate if you want to put in the work. Now I guess we could talk about some of the stuff that we have for today. So we've got a couple overwhelming chalk pieces. As I always say, directionally, this is going to make sense. Don't get married to the specific numbers at 9 o'clock in the morning. We'll start at the top with the easiest thing in the world to talk about right now. And what I feel is truly the most difficult part of today. And no one's going to enjoy this experience. But the one thing I do know, every single person that approaches this slate is going to have the same thought process and can make this decision in their heads. Here it is. Ready, folks? $12,300 Nikola Jokic is your premier pay-up option today in a matchup against the Oklahoma City Thunder. Again, $12,300. For reference, that's $1,300 more than Cade Cunningham. We have Jokic at the moment 60% owned, 60% optimal. We'll call it 50% boom. 50-50 shot to hit the score you're looking for. That's a coin flip. So my question to you guys, chat, how do you feel about Nikola Jokic today? It's the latest game of the slate. It's a tough matchup against the Thunder. It appears we can get to him based on the ownership. But the question for everything we do today is, do I have Nikola Jokic or do I not have Nikola Jokic? That answer will dictate everything. I want to know what you guys think. Are you team Jokic today or team no Jokic? What do you got for me? Because right now, I'm team shit, this is a tough decision. The obvious part here for me is just having a lot of Jokic and swapping a couple times. And then you end up with whatever you end up with. But where do you swap? That, to me, is the actual question. What am I missing here? Hold on. Jason Hansen says, I won the mini max last night with the Stokastic logo. Jason Hansen, shout out to you. Did you tweet at us or tag me or anything? Should I have seen that already today? Shout out to you for sure. I want to talk about it. I didn't know. How could I have known? I don't have any notifications. If you didn't tag us, you need to tag us. Get that posted up to Twitter. Get yourself into the Stokastic Hall of Fame. But for real, I mean, that's 2 days in a row if you ship the mini-max, man. Stokastic peeps are here to stay. Shout out Jason Hansen. Trust me, man, I want to shout you out. I didn't know that I didn't know that I could. Let's look at the rest of these pay-ups so we can kind of discuss the context that is Nikola Jokic. So these are the pay-up situations today. And this is how it starts to get real squirrely. Nikola Jokic is 12,300. Let me make that slightly bigger. Yeah, that's the view we want. Perfect. Nikola Jokic, 12,300. $1,300 more expensive than Cade Cunningham. Basically, like triple the ownership, more than double the optimal. 32% boom for Cade. Then we get to Shea. 10,700 for Shea. Obviously has been out for a stretch. I don't think we're getting 36 minutes out of Shea. It's really difficult to recommend Shea here because I just don't think he's going to get the full breadth of playing time. Jason, thank you, man. Thanks for letting me know. I had no idea. There's a lot of mini-maxes every day, man. These are tough to keep track. If we don't get tagged for it for the Stokastic Hall of Fame, it's tough to know. But trust me, I can guarantee you this much. If we know, we want to tell everybody. So if we miss it, it's the only reason we'll ever miss it is because we really legitimately didn't know. If we can talk about how you won a mini-max with a Stokastic avatar, I want to do that. Gabriel says, what I want to know is when did Sadiq Bey get this good? This ain't the guy we remember in Detroit or Atlanta, or am I lying? I mean, he's always been good. I think what you're seeing is just simply what happens when a guy reaches his prime. Like, he's 26. He should have been much shittier at 21 years old and 22 years old and 23 years old. But no, he's been great. Plus 1.7 EPM on offense so far this season. Even if you just want to count his defense as regular, like he's a league average NBA guy. I mean, that's a $20 million a year player now moving forward. Can guard up and down the position or up and down the spectrum, ish. But yeah, I mean, honestly, more than anything, he missed all of last year. So it feels a little weirder. But he was 24 when he got hurt. But yeah, I mean, look, like he's going to be 27 in 2 months. This is just the time where he should be as good as possible. He'll probably look even better next year with, another year past that injury as well. So what did he do? He blew out his ACL like late 2024, if I remember correctly. Something like that. Anyway, back to these pay-ups. There's only 3 guys north of 10K, and I don't know how you confidently can go to Shea. So then you start having this Jokic-Cade conversation, which is non-comparable. And then it sends you further down. But look what happens when we go further down. $9,800 Jaylen Brown against Brooklyn. Like, he's already getting 25% ownership. And, clearly good spot, but it's Brooklyn. Harden questionable. Clearly not healthy. 9,400 against Detroit. Don't love that. Certainly gets opportunity. Brunson against Milwaukee, I think, ends up being kind of sneaky for what this is. MPJ, questionable. Jamal Murray, questionable. These guys, we're already into the 8Ks, and now we're talking KPJ and Chet and Towns. So now you start thinking about it, and it's like, okay. Like, if Nikola Jokic scores 70 today, that just might be it. Because we're talking about a slate where, realistically, no one is near his ceiling. If you want to say that it's Cade, sure. But we're talking about Jokic being like 15 fantasy points ahead of everybody else. If he just beats Cade just like lightly, that might be it. And that's why I find this so difficult. Because it's not like we don't have other center options today. That's the even crazier part. Because while Nikola Jokic is 70% owned right now, let's just call it 60, 70, whatever, as chalky as someone's going to be today, he's not the only center that's aggressively chalky. 5K Marvin Bagley, center only, north of 50% owned. Now, a lot of that is going to have to do with the status of Daniel Gafford, which we do not know right now, but don't expect to see. We got him in. Expect to see those guys split it. The minutes are going to be weird. There's a chance Marvin Bagley's like 20% owned 8 hours from now. There's a chance he could be more than this, depending on how all of this breaks. But we're going to be looking at center in Dallas today. And then after that, it gets really scary because all these other guys are kind of just priced where they should be. Gabriel with the super chat. If you can, please, need early FanDuel data. If not, all good. We'll be back for Live Before Lock. I'm not on Live Before Lock tonight. At least I don't think, but that is subject to change. I'll be live tonight. I just don't know what time yet. And yeah, we could talk FanDuel. There's not much to say. Jokic is incredibly popular. Javon Small. Like, it's all the same thing on days like this. I worry less about talking about both slates when the slates are the same. Like, Jokic, chalk. Schroeder, chalk. Javon Small, Omax, both chalk. Shea, a little bit more popular on FanDuel. DraftKings, not so much. That's a position thing. You're always going to see more extreme ownership to pay up options on FanDuel than DraftKings because of the way positions work. But if I'm being honest, this is mostly the same situation, minus any like wildly different pricing tiers. Like if somebody's 10K on one site and 7K on the other, that's going to change it. But these guys are all going to look relatively similar today across both sites. Like, there's not... The overlap of these guys at the top is pretty much the same thing. And especially in the morning, my goal is more like set up the logic, talk through high-level stuff. The data that we have today is meaningless right now. And we see it every day. Like, what was it? Yes, 2 days ago we talked about like Donovan Mitchell and James Harden. They both didn't play. We ended up with like 900% ownership to Cavs guys we would have never discussed. Yeah, Arkathels is here. Corey Kispert yesterday. Like, It matters so little what some of this data looks like. Conversations like, how do we handle paying up for Jokic? That transcends the whole day. Conversations like, how do you feel about this 8% owned 4K guy that no one gives a fuck about? Just start remembering that we don't have to ask those questions at 9:20 a.m. Yeah, I mean, the Memphis one is crazy. Kyle Anderson no longer on Memphis. He's heading back to Minnesota. Curious to see if Rudy Gobert is excited about that one. Don't forget, Rudy Gobert, Kyle Anderson had a little disagreement on the bench when Kyle Anderson was there, which resulted in Kyle Anderson telling Rudy Gobert that he was a bitch. Oh, man, that's good times. The Payup scenario today is so scary. Because I've been on the road of being like, all right, if it's either Jokic or no Jokic, I either want all Jokic or no Jokic. And I've taken the no Jokic stand, and that dude's dropped 100. It's never going to feel good. It's never going to feel good in a matchup against Oklahoma City either. I don't care how dinged up they are. They're going to be throwing weird shit at Jokic constantly. I want to see what the optimal lineup looks like on DraftKings right now. I'm a little curious by that. Head over to the single lineup simulator. Click complete this lineup. This will give us the optimal. Dennis Schroeder, Brandon Williams, Najee Marshall, Omax, Marvin Bagley, Javon Small, Gigi Jackson, Nikola Jokic. So we get Jokic in there at his 12K price tag. And then no one else in this lineup is more expensive than 6,300. That's a really interesting build. You do not typically have your second most expensive guy be like the average price. Like, think about that for a second. The average price tag in a lineup is 6,300. Like, more or less. 8 spots at 50K. You know, it's 6,250, but whatever. You get the point. By rostering Jokic and taking our optimal, every single other of the 7 dudes in your lineup are either the average salary or lower than that. It's a star and scrubs build. Now, one of the bigger takeaways here, and it doesn't necessarily have to happen because we only have 5 games, but let me pull up the injury report to talk it through. Cleveland Cavaliers already don't have Donovan Mitchell. Q-tag Dean Wade, Schroeder, Harden, Keon Ellis. Clearly we can get a bunch of value from the Cavs if this breaks. And that will change the way that top section looks, change the way the optimal looks. Detroit's just at full strength, save for Beef Stew. Not going to see him for a minute. Nets on a back-to-back. Not a clue who's going to be active for Brooklyn. All those guys are basically made up, save for Michael Porter Jr. But we're going to need that news. That could change things. Celtics full strength, nothing crazy. Knicks still missing McBride. Otherwise, nothing to worry about. Bucks, nothing to worry about. Grizzlies are already just missing most of their dudes. Clark, Coward, Morant, KCP, Kyle Anderson shipped out. Aldama, Edey out already. Ty Jerome, doubtful. But we don't have a Mavs injury report. That could fuck some stuff up today. We go to the Nuggets. Pickett, questionable. Murray, questionable. Spencer Jones, questionable. We already don't have AJ Mitchell, Brandon Carlson, and J-Dub on the Thunder side. So we still have some news that's looking weird for whatever's going to happen today. That could make it easier to get to this non-star and scrub build. But it's not like we have an overwhelming amount of news. Like, we're going to get the Cavs news no matter what. So that's going to fix itself. At the moment, nothing for Detroit, Boston, Knicks, Milwaukee. Brooklyn, we'll at least get their injury report in the middle of the day. All we're really waiting on right now, that's going to matter for the slate, the Mavs injury report and the Q tags on the Nuggets. I love this slate. Truly. Do we have anything in the prop tool right now that stands out? I got it on 100% projections. Let's see. Let's get Bet365, BetMGM, Better, Caesars, Fanatics, DraftKings, FanDuel, Kalshi, Prize Picks, Sleeper, Underdog, and the Score. Bang. Okay, anything that I truly like out here. All right, Cason Wallace, over 2.5 assists on DraftKings. We've got it a bit higher. I certainly like him in this matchup. Type of game they'd play him a little bit more defensively. Don't hate that at all. 27% EV. And if we add the market in there, let's take some of the sharp edges off. See if that redistributes at all. Stay in there. Cason Wallace over 2.5 assists to me is the best thing that I see here. Under 4.5 boards for Kyle Kuzma will always be something you'll feel good about. There's a couple same game parlays that are sitting there that'd be really easy, or not even necessarily same game, but there's a couple FanDuel options that are sitting out there looking tasty. I mean, Bet365 is the way to go if you're looking for terrible lines. I mean that the good way. Nothing immediately jumping off for me. I want to look at this Detroit game because I think Detroit handles Cleveland. Over 2.5 threes made for Cade at plus 150 on FanDuel. I gotta be honest, I like that quite a bit. Pistons against the spread. Cade made threes. There's something there. What else is available on just FanDuel? I might put this in right now. I don't trust the Cavs one all that much. Although I do like the Jalen Tyson over 4.5 rebounds option. Because I like it already, and I think it just looks better by default if those guys end up out. Let me see. Is there anything? What are the good promos on FanDuel Sportsbook today? I wish I could pull this up on screen. $30% profit boost on FanDuel for today. Minimum $10. I'm doing this right now. We're going to take Pistons -6. We're going to take Cade over 2.5 made threes. Plus 150. And then Jalen Tyson over 4.5 rebounds. Easy enough. Oh, this is sick. 30% profit boost. I'll take this all day. Plus 928. Pistons -6. Cade 3+ made threes. Jalen Tyson over 4.5 rebounds. Kaboom, folks. I'll get that one up on Tails right now if anybody's interested. Beep, boop. Save. You guys are going to want this. I'll drop the link on Tails once I get this posted. I got it syncing up right now. Because Tails is great. I mean, this is truly nothing beats this. If you're not on Tails right now, I truly think you're crazy. I mean that nicely, but I mean what I say. Because it makes it so easy for you guys to tail this stuff. I'm just going to drop this here. All I have to do is toss this bet slip onto Tails and click post. And that's it. It's that simple. In like 30 seconds, AI is going to map that so you guys can just immediately go place a bet. Why would you not want to do that? I'm going to grab this link right now. Shit, I need to sign in. That's annoying. I hope I can do that while I'm on here. YouTube. Copy password. Please don't make me open my email address. Oh, you're not even going to let me do that, are you? We're close, folks. We're close. Apparently, I didn't log into chat this morning. Don't make me open my email. I knew you were going to make me open my email. Stupid, stupid cell phones. If you don't know that I'm me at my desk doing the same shit, what kind of technology is this anymore? It's craziness. You know it's me. Chat, phone, whatever. All right, we're in. Here we go. If you're looking for it, folks. The link is posted. You can go immediately to the same game parlay that we just placed based off of the prop tool. And most importantly, it's mapped right here for you guys. You want to tail these picks, all three of them. You can tail the parlay by just clicking the tail button and go to whatever sportsbook you're looking for. Maybe you've got a different boost. Maybe you've got something else going on. Either way, it's all here. Wherever you want it to be. You want that to go to Fanatics, Bet365. They're all right here. Doesn't get any easier than that. Not to mention, shout out to the people that are paying attention to this. We're already up to 13 flames. I'm going to give myself one. Get an extra flame out there. Ooh, we also got a Ben bet right before this started. We could talk through that. You guys want to bet some preposterous college basketball today? Ben is taking the over on Marshall and Georgia Southern. Show Ben some love. There's another one you guys should be paying attention to on Tails. You should be following DFS and Donuts. You got to be following Mitch. He's dropping the goods every single day. Probably the biggest paid dude on Tails. But you get this for free. Oh, Jake's dropping hockey. And you guys can get the NHL props tool for 75% off if you want to. Promo code in Jake's Tails post. Because not just the NBA props tool now, we've got hockey. There's a lot more here for you guys. But we got a same game parlay out for the strategy show. I think that's kind of fun. Pistons are going to handle the Cavs today. I'm not worried about that. And we could get lucky. Those guys end up out. This could look even better for us. Just need Cade to make some threes. Not his MO, typically. Alrighty, folks. Anything else you guys want me to look at for today? I think we've hit the biggest pieces of information that we're waiting on here. A lot of Cavs news. A couple injury reports. And then a star and scrubs build for what we've got today. Actually, one more thing I want to do. I'm going to go to Odd Shopper. And I'm going to pull up the Pick'em Builder. And I want to see if we can find a Prize Picks card to start the day. Because we went 3-1 yesterday. kind of want to see if we've got one available for us today. Preferably on the NBA side, which is what's here. So that's going to be Tobias Harris under rebounds, Bobby Portis under points, Cam Thomas under points, Duncan Robinson under rebounds, let's see if this one works. 12% EV on this 6-pick card. I'll read it off once we get there. No, we're good. All right. Bobby Portis, less than 10.5 points. Cam Thomas, less than 12.5 points. Duncan Robinson, less than 2.5 rebounds. Sam Hauser, less than 10.5 points. Tobias Harris, less than 5.5 rebounds. Peyton Pritchard, less than 18.5 points. We are in. $40 wins 1,000. Prize Pick 6-pick card. Derek, I can promise you this much. There is absolutely nothing relevant in the sentence 70 points, only 2 of last 8 games. There is no less relevant sentence than that. All right, let's get this Prize Picks card up as well before we get out of here. Boom. Now keep your eyes peeled for like free plays, tacos, all that kind of stuff on Prize Picks. You could always make your life a little bit easier. Prize Picks card is in fact posted to Tails. That's 2. It's a hell of a morning, man. We got the goods. You didn't even have to pay for it. What more could you possibly want? Let me drop this link into chat. I think that's going to do it, folks. The moral of today's story: find out what kind of value we officially get from the Dallas Mavericks. Whether that's Bagley, Marshall, Brandon Williams, Caleb Martin, Clay, Max Christie. We don't know what we're officially going to have, but we know we're going to have a lot of Mavs. And then the real question for today: is it a Nikola Jokic day? Yes or no? Because the answer to that question dictates every other thing we do. For you guys today, NHL Strategy Show is coming up at 1:30. You don't want to miss it. Now that hockey is back, and I know you guys are loving hockey at this moment, you guys can watch the NHL Strategy Show at 1:30 because we now have Sims and the NHL prop tool. So these guys have a lot of tools at their disposal for you guys. And don't forget, you can sign up for all of those tools by clicking the link in the description of this video. You're going to get a little bit of discount on whatever you're looking for. Sims, props, Odds Shopper. It's all there for you. And we've looked at every single one of those things so far throughout this show. Later tonight, you will get a 2-hour block of live before lock and live after lock. Hosts, TBD. It's either going to look like it did yesterday with Spags and Eric, with me on live after lock, or we get Greg back today and we mix some stuff up. But either way, folks, we're going to be here tonight talking some basketball. That's all I've got. We have just, at least for me and the NBA Strategy Show, we have just completed February NBA Strategy Shows. We're going to be in the playoffs before you know it, and I can't wait because I am ready for good basketball. I'm also ready to get out of here, so enjoy your morning, everybody. I'll see you guys later.